So, I am so excited. My god, my guest is here, walking with a Diet Coke. So, you got the Diet Coke. Right?
Yes.
And that is his reward for doing this podcast, let me just tell you. All the way from Hyderabad, only for this podcast. And all of you, like, who already know me, okay, tum kar lo pehle.
No, that's
Okay, so those of you who know me, my name is Ankita Sood and I am a host of this podcast called The Uncomfortable Talk Show, and this is the first video podcast that I am recording with my friend Vinay Teja Reddy.
Hi.
Yes, so those of you who know me, thank you so much for coming, and I'm so happy that you're supporting this and you're supporting me, because I'm actually doing what I like, what I love doing, and it is all because of your love and your support. So thank you so much. And if you are new to my channel, I am Ankita Sood and I like to talk about weird things that make people uncomfortable, talks that make the society uncomfortable. वो जो आंटियाँ होती है ना, बोलती हैं ये तो लड़की बिगड़ी हुई है, मतलब इसका तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, इससे बिल्कुल ही मतलब उम्मीदें ही छोड़ दो, बस वही लड़की हूँ मैं, and that is who I am. So I don't think I'm going to introduce myself, और या फिर मैं अपने गेस्ट का इंट्रोडक्शन आपको दूंगी ही नहीं, क्योंकि he is a cinephile. That is it, I think. Does that define you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
It
Okay.
does.
So, I have given you a Diet Coke, by the way. What have you got for me?
Yeah,
Come on,
I have something for you. This is a film. It's not released in India. I just watched his podcast and I DM'd him on Instagram, and he was kind enough to send me the private link. And I got a signed poster for Ankita.
Oh my god! Oh, so this is Willie Dennis,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, so a signed poster by Willie Dennis. I love this so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. And if you know that I have a wall that I just like to put all the posters, and I just like that wall. I think I'm going to put that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Will you come home and paste it for me?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Vinay, I have been getting a lot of queries regarding film school जाना चाहिए या film school नहीं जाना चाहिए. Now I am from Film and Television Institute of India, and this institute is given me a lot. बहुत कुछ दिया है. It's my Gurukul. It's the place that I kind of worship. But a lot of us, we do not, we don't have the people who do not have the opportunity to get into a film school, and they feel that they are lacking behind, कुछ छूट रहा है, कुछ मिस हो रहा है, and they then they don't feel confident to pursue filmmaking, and that is what I want to discuss with you today in this podcast, कि क्या film institute ज़रूरी है, और अगर है तो वो क्यों है?
So I think first of all, having like-minded people around would be a very good thing. That would be a given. If you go to a film school, you'll find film lovers and all sorts of people around. But having said that, you could also have a bunch of friends who also love watching films, and you could ask them to help you out on a weekend. You could take your camera, ask one of your friends to act, buy them lunch, and hang out with them and have a nice time and make a short film. You could do that too, which is what I did in my college, and that's my film school. So you end up making really bad short films, but that's how it is, because you're just starting to experiment and learn. So if you can find something like that for yourself, where you're constantly watching films, you have people to discuss those films, read about them, and make short films, then I don't think film school is a compulsory. But yeah, if you can afford it and if you can get into a good film school, then nothing like that as well.
Okay, but you said that you end up making a lot of bad films, but that is how I think one learns, and that is like too many mistakes. It just makes one. It just gives you one good result, right? So, what are your favorite directors or films? Have you grown up watching films? Was it something that your parents taught you, or what is it?
Okay, so in my childhood, I remember watching Lagan and Dhoom and like very few films. After that, I watched the mainstream Telugu films, and I used to like them so much. And only in my engineering did I start watching the good Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi films. And after that, there was a phase when I was watching the famous Christopher Nolan, Tarantino, Scorsese, all these Hollywood filmmakers. And after that, I started exploring world cinema, Wong Kar-wai, Richard Linklater, Woody Allen,
Wow.
Asghar Farhadi, all of these people. So it's been growing, like my exposure to cinema has been growing ever since childhood, and because of that the passion has been growing exponentially. Because imagine if I'm inspired by Telugu commercial pot boiler cinema, then just imagine what kind of inspiration I would get when I'm watching like really good films.
You know, I remember कि मेरे घर पे तो TV was banned because my mother was working. So she would say कि TV बिल्कुल बंद कर दो and you're not allowed to watch the TV और बहुत कम time के लिए 1 घंटा या 2 घंटा. So I never had the exposure to even watch like Bollywood films. Yes, I watched a couple of regional films, and when my mother was home, and she also likes watching films, so she introduced me to Pakistani dramas and Pakistani serials and films. So that was a good phase, and that is how my mother introduced me to cinema. But I never had the exposure to watch the world cinema. And FTII, I remember the first day even in the orientation, I saw Bicycle Thieves, and that is when my mind just opened up. कि, oh my god, ये दुनिया भी exist करती है. And then we moved to the first day of my college. I remember that by the end of our day, हम लोगों ने Wong Kar-wai की In the Mood for Love देखी. And In the Mood for Love देख के मुझे लगा, oh my god, this is what a rom-com is. This is what a romantic movie is. And
Yes.
my head just, it just bursted कि ये तो रह ही क्या था. And then I got into a habit of watching a film every day. And that is how I got the exposure to world cinema. So as I'm telling you, like FTI helped me to open my mind because of the films that we watched together. And that togetherness की एक discipline हो जाता है कि एक थिएटर है वहाँ पर रोज शाम को 6 बजे एक फिल्म लगेगी. और पहले तो सख्ती थी कि हमें जाना भी है फिल्म देखने, और उसके बाद फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में हमारा ये भी था कि हमें एक फिल्म डायरी बनानी है. So that kind of discipline was there. And we'll be marked कि 50 फिल्में उसमें लिखनी है. तो अगर फिर नहीं भी करना है तो फिर काम की तरह, होमवर्क की तरह भी करना पड़ता था कि यार ये भी फिल्म लिख लो. तो उससे भी क्या होता है, एक डिसिप्लिन बनता है. And that is what film school gave me. So who introduced you to films?
Yeah, so as you're saying, having a routine I think plays a huge role. Like if you're watching one film every day, then it happens very seamlessly. But if you stop watching films for like 2-3 months, then watching even 1-2 films, it becomes a little hectic, and for some reason you don't have your focus on the film. Actually, I read about the assignment which you're given, where you have to maintain a film diary, and I started a blog by that inspiration, where I write about every film that I watch, and I take down notes and my takeaways. I think
that's on Instagram, right?
Yes.
What's the handle?
Yes, it's called The Film Language.
Okay, so those of you who want to go onto his page, because I've read some of your entries, and they are wonderful. They have so much of information, and the way you analyze the film, it's tremendous. So yes, please carry on. Yeah.
So I started watching films out of a routine, and I think you find companionship in some kind of cinema. So when I watch, let's say, a Swedish film, I'm not only watching the film, I'm trying to experience Sweden and the people there. I'm trying to live among them, and it's just like a tour where I just go there, stay with them for the most dramatic moments of their lives, be with them, and then come back to my world. So it's almost like tourism. So that's the reason, even if not a lot is happening in the film, I just keep watching and I just keep experiencing what the film is showing. So that's the reason I want to explore different worlds and different films, and which is why I search for different filmmakers and I try to find some. I'm sure there are a lot of filmmakers that I don't know of yet, but I explore films through Cannes, Venice, Berlin, the films that win in those festivals.
So you have only introduced yourself to films. Is nobody?
Got it. So there was my cousin. He used to show me some good scenes of some films. For example, I remember he showed me one short film in Wild Tales, the Spanish anthology. It's on Amazon Prime, I'm guessing. It's an anthology of 6 crime short films, and he sat me down and showed me one short film, and I was blown away by it. And then I watched the entire film. He showed me the scene in Whiplash where the teacher slaps
Yes.
the kid. He showed me
Yes.
that scene, and I was damn intrigued by it, and I ended up
Yes,
watching the
yeah.
whole film. He was the one who sort of pushed me to watch some kind of cinema. And there is some resistance when you want to watch a different kind of cinema, and you have to take that leap of faith, or somebody has to push you. Oh, come on, watch it, try this, give this a shot.
I absolutely agree. I think it's your circle, it's your friend circle, your social circle that either makes you or breaks you, period. Like there is no contradiction to it. And because I remember when I was in FTII, the kind of group like that I had, my friend, one of my friends, his name is Joy, he used to make me watch, films, different kind of films, and we used to like talk about it, and I listened and he talked. But otherwise I had a friend who's into sound. So, he made me hear a lot of good songs. So then, I developed a taste for good music. And that's how I got an introduction. Kabhi I maybe see how selfish I am. Like, am I using all these people, to increase my vocabulary? Aisa hai kya? Because but there is no other way to it.
Yeah.
So I guess apart from the institute itself, it is a kind of people that you meet in there.
Yeah.
And for example, but I think it's outside of FTI also. Like I met you. We met on Instagram, and I knew that this person, we just clicked.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the same cinema. We were talking about the same films, and we just clicked. And then the bonding is only grown.
Yeah.
And I think every relationship, if it is giving you growth, if two people in any kind of relationship, they grow together, there is constantly the give and take is happening. So that is how one gets to learn every day.
Yeah.
You don't need an institute, or you don't need to
Absolutely
have a
agree.
discipline. You can just chill and still be learning, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that you mentioned, Vinay, is that when you said that you were watching a Sweden film, and you said that it's also about the culture, about the music, about the food that you're learning about. So I think a lot of things you can learn from cinema. It also becomes your guide to a lot of things.
Life.
I find a lot of answers in cinema.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you have to? What is
you don't find cinema like that very often, but when you find such cinema, it just so when I watched The Salesman by Asghar Farhadi,
Yes.
in that film, in the ending of that film, spoilers alert, but in the ending of that film, we almost empathize with the person who's assaulted a woman. And I was just confused, what's happening, why am I thinking this way? And it's just the film that did that, and it showed me that morality is always grey. And the next day I remember I was about to complain about something that I lost, and I realized no, maybe not. I was in that sort of a weird situation where I was double checking my choices the next day in my life. That was one experience where I could remember a film affecting my worldview. And also recently, a couple of months back, I watched this film called Halal Love Story. It's a Malayalam film. It's on Amazon Prime. So that film is about a conservative Muslim organization who wants to make a film. So before that film, I used to look down upon conservative people. After watching that film is when I realized that you have to agree to disagree and move on. You need not look down on anyone because they don't think like you, or they don't agree with all the beliefs you have. So films
you become
like
less
this,
judgmental, I guess.
yeah,
Because it just opens up your horizon.
yeah.
आपका आसमान जो है वो बड़ा कर देती है. Because otherwise it is obviously like it's not possible that you are. With films, I think it just आपका आसमान बड़ा हो जाता है. When I say it, like you cannot travel to all the places, but you can. The cinema brings all the places together on your screen, and when you said that less judgmental, like I gave the example of In the Mood for Love. When I saw that these people were also the protagonists, they start having a bond. But it is an extramarital affair. But the way we look at an extramarital affair, then I just thought by the end of it, like, is it wrong, or what is wrong, or what is right? It's your perception towards society about things. It just changes, and if not changes, at least you become open to different opinions, like
Yes,
different
absolutely.
perspectives towards seeing anything.
Yeah, and cinema makes you root for stuff that you wouldn't probably root in real life. For example, if a film is about a murderer, if a film has a murderer protagonist, let's say Breaking Bad, he kills people, you understand every at every stage what was there in their mind, you see them and you travel with them for such long period that you start to feel okay with certain choices they make. You might not you might say out that, oh, that's a wrong choice, but you inside you somewhere okay with the choices they make. So it's just that when you read an article on newspaper or on in charts, it feels like a insane event that's happening. For example, if you watch this film Amis.
Yes.
So that film, spoilers alert again, that film is about cannibalism.
Yeah.
And I was just imagining after I watched that film that what if I read about this article in a newspaper where two people were eating each other, eat each other's flesh, and you would feel ridiculous. But the film, it leads up to that event in a very organic way.
Right.
So they show those people at every stage how they changed and how it led to that event, and then you understand, oh, so behind every ridiculous story and headline that you read on a newspaper, there must be some sort of organic transition that's happening from a normal baby to a criminal, or that happens. So you start to see things in a different perspective, as you were saying.
So a lot of people have asked me this question कि यार supposedly if one wants to become an actor, तो बोलते हैं कि हम acting के लिए कौन सी फिल्में देखें, या direction के लिए कौन सी फिल्में देखें, या किस तरीके से फिल्में देखें, कि मुझे मैम acting समझ नहीं आ रही है, या फिर मैम I want to become a director, so should I only look at the angles, the lighting, what should I look at, and how should I develop it? Because sometimes what happens is that there are so many technical jargons in the film language that what happens is that it is very intimidating for a fresher, to look at cinema, because other people are talking in technical jargons and I don't know anything about it. So लगता है कि यार मैं क्या गलत देख रहा हूँ? Is it something wrong about me? So what do you think about that?
So I think when you watch diverse cinema, you just see what's possible. For example, if a director asks you to respond angrily, you might have like a couple of ideas in which you can show that you're angry. But let's say you watch a different film in a different country and they react very differently, and yet you understand that he or she is angry, then it sort of opens up your vocabulary as to what's possible. And for example, there's this film called Like Crazy by Drake Doremus, and that film I've read that he just had a 40-page treatment. He didn't have a script, and it's a love story. So to the guy and the girl, he told them about their characters, explained them deeply about their backstories, about their motives and what kind of people they are, and he would tell them that okay, now you're together, and in the next scene you both are in your room, you're talking, and suddenly something blows out of proportion and you break up and you fight and you leave. This is his brief, and he keeps cameras and he keeps rolling for like half an hour, and they can perform whatever they want.
Wow.
They have to be in their character. So this is one school of direction, and there's the David Fincher school where he wants every single minute detail exactly the way he wants. So when you watch like these two films, you can understand the extremes of different schools of acting. Likewise,
the
in every
also.
you explore the possibilities, what's possible, and
how can you achieve.
Yeah, so likewise in every craft, you can just Google what are the best films in cinematography, editing, and you'll find a couple of films. You'll watch them and you'll not probably understand why it's great if you're just starting out, but you can start reading about it. Like for example, when I watch some classic films, sometimes I don't understand why this is a classic film. I just watch it and it seems like a normal film, but when you
what
read
is a classic film?
So I think so a classic film is a film which doesn't lose its charm over time. I think that's what a classic film is. Like 12 Angry Men, you can watch it now and you'll feel the same way. So for example, I was watching Citizen Kane, and in my initial reaction to the film was I didn't understand why this was considered the greatest film of all time and all of that. But when you read about it, you'll understand the choices they made in that time affected how cinema shaped after that.
Right.
So that helps. So watching films and reading about them and understanding.
It's very different. Yeah. We were talking about Persepolis. Like पहले मुझे नहीं पता था why are people watching animation. I didn't understand animation. But then when I opened up and when I watched Persepolis, which is from a comic book. It's from a comic book, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my god. If there are human actors, they cannot achieve this. It is excellence. It is sheer brilliance. Or when you recommended me Anomalisa by Charlie Kaufman, oh my god, it's beautiful. What animation can bring on screen. It's very difficult for the human actors to and it's beautiful. Then you learn कि अच्छा ये भी possibility
Exactly,
है,
yeah.
and that is also how you can learn. But अगर किसी को नहीं पता है कि फिल्में कैसे देखनी है, मतलब किस तरीके से उनको देखनी चाहिए, is there any way that you think कि फिल्में ऐसी देखनी चाहिए? Because like I believe कि जैसे मैंने फिल्में देखना शुरू किया, पहले I was intimidated कि यार सब लोग ऐसे बात कर रहे हैं, डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, फिल्म देख कर आते हैं और ऐसे ऐसे डिस्कस करने लग जाते हैं कि ये सीन ऐसा था, फिर ऐसा था, वो टेक्निकल जार्गन जानने लग जाते हैं. बट फॉर मी व्हाट हैपेंड इज कि जैसे जैसे मैंने फिल्म देखना शुरू किया, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट ऑर्गेनिकली केम इनटू मी. ऑर्गेनिकली वो चीजें बिल्ड होती गई. इट्स लाइक जब लोग बोलते हैं कि इंग्लिश कैसे सीखें, तो हमारी मैम बोलती थी कि तुम रोज 1 घंटा इंग्लिश न्यूज सुना करो. मैंने कहा उससे क्या होगा? Like unless and until I open up a dictionary and I check each word and I write it down, how will I learn? But it just feeds into your subconscious, and you start feeding your subconscious, it eventually happens.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the other way of where one can do?
I think it's just being open to experimenting, and you could ask, like you could Google up a couple of films and you could watch them. But the only problem I see is a couple of friends ask me to recommend some films, and when I recommend some eccentric, esoteric, weird, crazy films, they suddenly get switched off and I don't want to experiment, I want to just chill and watch something light. And so I would just say don't be afraid to experiment, and if you don't like a film, just let it be and move on, and just try to experiment more, and
You need to have
try
a lot
to
of patience also.
yeah
with
that's
this, है ना?
yes
Because कभी-कभी क्या होता है, the commercial cinema, like the cinema which is popular cinema, I would say, not commercial, the popular cinema, it's very fast paced. तो लोग क्या होता है ना, बोर नहीं होते हैं, they are chilling and Netflix and chill जो होता है. But sometimes with a film you need to also show a lot of patience, because it's sometimes it's very slow paced, or sometimes you don't understand. For example, Charlie Kaufman's I'm thinking of ending things. Huh?
yeah
देखा ये क्या हो रहा है ना? या फिर एनिमलिज्म में I was not understanding कि सब लोग एक जैसा क्यों साउंड कर रहे हैं, but by the end of it तुम्हें मालूम चलता है कि why the characters are sounding the same way, because it has a meaning. So sometimes you have to wait and see what the film wants to tell you.
I think these films need interaction from us within. Like for example, if a filmmaker has a slow paced film, I also think they're giving you time to reflect on what they're saying, and you can react in that way as well. You can think about stuff. Sometimes I just watch a film, and if nothing is happening, I think about my life. So
so you go into the thinking zone.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So
So that's that. And what about, like, when you said that, I think that cinema is a great source of education. It just educates you, and it's also what you try and teach yourself. Like every day I'm in a habit of, if I'm listening to an audiobook, or if I'm reading something, even just a paragraph, or if I'm watching something, I just feel that it is started happening to me कि वो सारी चीजें मुझे सिखाने के लिए ही बनती हैं. Now I don't. क्या सिनेमा स्टूडेंट होने का ये भी नुकसान है कि then nothing is no more entertaining, because everywhere you start to analyze. Do you think it's a backdrop of, like,
I mean, you can I think if you observe something interesting, it's fun for me. Like if I see, there's a nice cut, that's a nice shot, that's a nice frame, it's fun for me. So I don't look at it as a hindrance at all. I'm just watching a film like a story, and sometimes I cry watching films, and it's an experience for me. But when I'm observing an interesting cut or a frame, as I was saying, it excites me as well. So for me, cinema is not just about story. For me, cinema is about images, editing, sound. All of this is cinema for me. So I watch cinema for all of this stuff as well. So this is never a hindrance to me.
Okay, so since you're working, and you're working in the industry, and before that you were an engineer, you graduated in the engineering. I want to understand that if there are a lot of people who are trying to make this decision, that whether or not they should leave their full-time job and pursue filmmaking, or it can happen simultaneously. Like, what do you think should be the best possible decision?
I think it'll take. So filmmaking is not something where you can just chill over the weekend and do. So it takes a lot. It's a lot of hard work. even though if you do with your friends, it feels like you're having fun, but it's physically very tough. And even after going through that hard work, you end up making shit, and it feels pointless. So before taking the plunge, I would just say, just check if you have the resilience enough to keep going. Make like a couple of films over the weekend and in your free time, and see how they're turning up, and see if you're still inspired to do it. I think M. Night Shyamalan says this, where even if after 30 years of trying to make films, if you're not making films, you're poor, you're lonely, and even then, if you think you'd be ready to make films, only then pursue this career, because it'll end up like that. And you're saying that sort of stuff. So yeah, so fascination, I think a lot of people have, but if you make a couple of bad short films and see how you're reacting to them, then I think you can understand if this is for you for full time or not.
And if you have to like top 5 films, if somebody is new to cinema, can you suggest us 5 films that a person can start with?
Okay, this is a really tough question.
Okay, just like you can take your time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say a group of films.
Okay. Yes.
So you could watch, like, if you haven't watched the Pixar films, you should definitely watch the Pixar films, and you should watch Woody Allen's films. You should.
I just blush. Sorry.
Yes. You should start with Midnight in Paris, Annie Hall, and you should explore all of his filmography. He's made like one film every year since 50 years. He's a legend. You should watch Richard Linklater's films, the Before trilogy, Boyhood, and I'll just throw some names of some filmmakers you could explore. I mean, these are just famous names. I'm just there's Wong Kar-wai, there's Asghar Farhadi, there's Bong Joon-ho, there is
Of course, Fincher films. They are very
Fincher. Yeah, Fincher's films. After you watch his films, it's difficult to watch somebody else's films.
Somebody else's film. Yeah, you just want to go back to his film. Oh my god, that was so nice.
Precision in his films, and it's addictive.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the Scorsese, all the gangster films, Goodfellas, Casino, Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, all of these films. And
which is the last film that you watched?
I recently watched this Love Enough Sir on Netflix.
I've not seen it.
It's an interesting film. It's a relationship between a landlord and it's a very edgy premise. It's a very simple, and yet it's a very edgy premise. It's about the relationship between a person and his maid. So it can.
What is it called?
Is Love Enough Sir? Or
there is
Sir.
another film. Sir, you're talking about. It is our Indian film. Oh,
so
I got it.
They named it as Love Enough Sir.
This is Tilottama, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is on my watch list. That's the next one that I'm going to watch.
Right. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah. And also, I think you also identify about yourself. Like, for example, my favorite film is Frances Ha. That whenever I've watched it a lot of times, and I think I'm going to go back to watching it again a lot of times, because I feel that you also discover so much about yourself when you relate to certain characters or certain their situation, and then I find answers in the film. Like, if I'm dealing with something, कुछ गलत चल रहा है या कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ confusion हो रहा है. Sometimes a lot of times actually I find answers in the film, and it's beautiful that over a period of time you build a relationship with the cinema.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the inevitable, just part of your life. It is how you see it.
Yeah. I think the kind of films we trip on, we understand what's happening in our lives as well, because a couple of years back I was totally into gangster films, crime films, murder mysteries. I was watching all these films, but this year I've been into coming of age, slice of life, that sort of films, because I'm adulting as well, so I can relate to what's happening. And sometimes when you see life in films, you try to introspect, and all of that happens. So yeah.
But it's there, and I think you have answered a lot of our questions. If you have any questions related to films, anything that you want to ask Vinay, you can get in touch with him. Can you please tell your Instagram handle if they?
Yeah, it's at vinay.teja.reddy, vinay.teja.reddy.
Great. And if you have any questions that you want to ask me, you can get in touch with me. Ankita.sood is my handle.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's really nice talking to you. Yeah.
I'm so grateful. And thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you like this video, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you that. Please support. It is very, very important for me to keep doing what I want to do, what I love to do. And yes, I hope it benefited you. It was worth your time. I'll see you next time. Until then, ta-da, say bye.
Bye.
Okay.